All right. So we'll meet up in our mountain pose in our chair. So feet are flat on the floor. You can even pick up the toes that will engage the arches of your feet and then set the toes down. You'll have right angles to the legs and hips, just like that. And we're going to rest our hands in our lap. We're going to check in and notice what we're bringing to the chair this morning. So it could be your emotions. It could be how you physically feel. It could be the feeling of your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. Kind of noticing the bigger things, the most sensory input things, the things that kind of stand out to you. And then maybe even dig a little deeper, kind of notice the things that are a little bit more subtle. And we'll bring our awareness to the breath, resisting the urge to change it. I know for me, as soon as a teacher says to bring my attention to the breath, I then hold it. So it might take a little bit to get that natural breath back. In the breath, notice what moves and what stays still as you breathe. And we're going to take the inhale and we're going to bring it to the belly. So the belly will expand first. So we'll just worry about the belly at this point. You can place a hand on your belly if you'd like. And on the inhale, your belly should expand. And then on the exhale, your belly will draw in. So inhale, the belly expands. Exhale, the belly draws in. And if you've done Ujjayi breath, you can add the Ujjayi breath. So what that does is that actually lengthens the time it takes you to do the inhale and the exhale. It's a slight constriction of the breath. So together, we're going to inhale for the count of 3. Hold, and then exhale for the count of 3. We'll inhale for the count of 4. Hold, and exhale for the count of 4. So we'll do a few rounds of that. So you can pick what length of breath you want to do. 3 is kind of short, but for me, starting out, 3 is where I start, and then I go longer and longer and longer. So bring your hand to your belly. You can even bring one to your chest, and we'll take a big inhale for whatever length of time, and then you hold, and then exhale for whatever length of time. you want to, you can take a hold at the bottom too. So we'll continue a few rounds of those. Okay, you can come back to your natural breath, rest your hands in your lap. And that was only a brief pranayama practice, but maybe you could notice some changes already. So on your next exhale, we'll dip the chin down towards the chest. And on the inhale, bring the chin up a little bit above neutral if that's comfortable, and then slightly back. Just drawing the chin in, and then exhaling again, chin to chest. So we'll do a few breaths like that. And the next time you exhale, bring the chin towards the chest and roll the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Now you can hold here and take a couple breaths, or you can follow the breath and exhale, bring the chin towards the chest. And then inhale, left ear towards the left. To you, I personally like to hold each position for a few breaths because my neck is very tight. That seems to be where I hold everything. And if it's comfortable for you and you want to take the head back, you can do that as well. I personally do not, but totally up to you. Okay, then we'll come back to our neutral position, sit up tall. And we will take some wrist rolls. So one hand out to the side, take some wrist rolls. As you inhale, bring the arm up, maybe even over, and then wrist roll right back down. Switching sides. I think I need to be a little bit more active in my at-home personal practice because I am stiff. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale, bring them to the heart. And we'll take some wrist rolls. I've also been playing around with the idea of adding more classes, but I'm not really sure when to do that. So if anybody has some input, send me a message. Switching sides. Sweep both arms up. You're going to push that ceiling away, lengthening through the spine really, really tall. And then on the exhale, you'll fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. wrist roll. Switching sides. So Carol, that chicken we got from you, we named her Lucy. Sweep both arms up, push the ceiling away, and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again and fold. Sweep both arms up. And we're going to exhale and twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. She had just walked by, that's why I mentioned it. Take some wrist rolls. And exhale, bring it down. Switching sides. Sweep both arms up. Push the ceiling away and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again and fold. Sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. And we're going to exhale, bring one knee up. So the knee comes up, the back stays straight. You're hugging the knee in. Now, if you're more ample-bodied here, maybe bring the knee out to the side because it's a little bit harder to bring it directly in. Or if you've just eaten. Take some ankle rolls on this side. Change direction. And then we'll inhale the arms up. And then exhale, bring the other knee up. Give it a squeeze. Keep the chest lifted. And take ankle rolls on this side. Switch directions of your ankle roll. And then we'll inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Last time through, wrist roll. For the side bend, bring it back down. Switching sides. Wrist roll down. Sweep both arms up. Push the ceiling away and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again and fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale and twist to the right. Inhale back to center. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring one knee up, give it a squeeze. Knee lifted, chest lifted. Inhale, extend the leg. So our foot is flexed. Lower it down, heel first. Place the hands on the opposite thigh. So if you want to increase the stretch in the back of that leg, You can hinge forward. You can flex the foot more. But we want to keep the back straight, so we're not noodling over the leg. We'll inhale the arms up. Other knee gets a squeeze. Inhale, extend the leg. Foot is flexed. Heel lowers. Hands on the opposite thigh. Flex the foot back. You can hinge at the hips. And then we'll bring the arms back up. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Good, we're gonna move into the ab section. We'll start that now. First, we're gonna warm up the core. So you start to bring your upper body forward to the side and back. So moving to the side, you start to lean back a little bit. So that starts to wake up your core. And then we'll change directions. And then we'll sit up tall and start to bring our back towards the back of the chair. So back stays straight. You're just kind of leaning back. And then come back up. Or sit up. But we're keeping the back straight. So we're not rounding. We want to keep our torso in line, our spine in line. So then you have the option of leaning back a little bit, and it does help if you're kind of right on the edge of your chair. You can start to lift up onto the toes. You can start to lift up both feet. And hardest part is breathing during this. And then set the feet down. And I'm sure you can feel that in your core. And then we'll circle. So this is pretty much the same circle we started with. Kind of just taking a little bit of the pressure off. And then switch directions. And then come back to your upright. So we're going to tilt the pelvis forward so it hollows out the low back, and then tilt the pelvis back so it flattens the low back. So tilt the pelvis forward and then tilt the pelvis back. Do a couple more of those. So it's kind of like our cat and cow, but kind of more isolated towards the pelvis. Bringing it back and bringing it forward. So we're going to bring it back and then see if you can kind of tilt your pelvis to the left, then forward, tilt it to the right, and back. So left, forward, right, back. So just a couple more circles here in this direction. Our last circle. And now we're going to do the opposite. So tilt the pelvis to the right, forward, left, and back. Circle here. And I can notice that I definitely really like having my pelvis forward. That's kind of where my natural pelvis is, where it is naturally. And I want to kind of do the opposite of that, because one of the things I'm doing is I'm making my lower back a little ouchy. And kind of shortening myself a little bit. So we'll come back to our neutral. We're going to pull the belly in. So if you find yourself leaning forward, you're going to tip back. If you find that you already are kind of back, tip forward. So find what's not natural to you. Another reason why we tip forward is a lot of times our hip flexors are very tight. We'll just take a couple breaths here in our mountain pose. Kind of focusing on this neutral pelvis. Good. So we're going to interlace the fingers behind our back or grab the sides of the chair. And we're going to open up through the heart. So the shoulder blades are coming towards each other. We're opening. So this is another place where we tend to need to do the opposite of what we naturally do. So a lot of us kind of round through the upper back. We need to open. Open the chest. Bring the shoulder blades towards each other. We're going to bring both hands over towards the right and tilt your head to the right. We bring our hands to the left and tilt our head to the left. And then we'll come back to the center. Take some shoulder rolls. So we're going to inhale the arms up overhead. And then imagine you're pulling down. So you're going to make a bicep curl as you come to goddess arms or cactus arms. We're going to inhale the arms up. Kind of pulling down. Exhaling, bring the shoulder blades. So they're going kind of opening as they come back. Inhale up, exhale. And so if you can see yourself in the camera, you can also see if your arms are down like this, or are they up and straight across. Inhale the arms up one more time, and then exhale, bring them down. Good. We're going to open up the arms wide and give ourselves a hug. You can bring the legs very close together or cross, but we're keeping everything hugged in. And you're going to send your breath between the shoulder blades. We're going to uncross the legs, open up the arms, and then give yourself a hug, reversing which arm is on top. You can do reversing which leg is on top. And everything is squeezing in. Again, you're going to breathe in between the shoulder blades. And then we're going to release and open the arms up wide. Take a couple of shoulder rolls to the back, and we'll rock to stand. And then we'll come all the way up. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. We'll bring the chair. So we're behind the chair. Okay. We're going to inhale the arms up. And we're going to take a side bend. So place one hand on your hip and take a side bend. You can inhale both arms up. Bring your other hand to your hip. Take a side bend. So if that is difficult, balance-wise, use your chair and side bend. So either side, you can side bend. Okay? So we're going to sweep both arms up and take a side bend. Inhale back up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale both arms up. And exhale, bring them to the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side, side bend. Inhale back up to center. And we're going to exhale, place the hands on the back of the chair and step back into your down dog. Taking a couple breaths here. You can bend your knees if you need to, especially if your hamstrings are really tight. Bent knee, especially if your first couple down dogs. It's kind of a little bit kinder on the backs of the legs. We're going to inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. You can inhale one or both arms up. Exhale here. Inhale again. Exhale, place the hands on the chair. Step back into your down dog. We're going to inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. You can inhale the arms up. Inhale here. Exhale, place the hands, step the left foot back to meet the right. Take a breath or two here. Definitely this pose, I can kind of feel all the places on the back side of my body that I'm very tight. Especially kind of my first class back with you guys after several days off. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet forward. Inhale, up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, do that again. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, take a side bend. Inhale, the other arm up. Exhale, take a side bend to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, place the hands, step back into your down dog. Now you can imagine that basket of puppies again on your mat in front of you or on the floor in front of you between you and the chair. And you're gonna step big up and over. So you're gonna hug that knee in towards your chest as you step it forward. So inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, hug the right knee in and place it down. So we're back into our crescent lunge. Option to lift one or both arms. And then exhale, place the hands. We're hugging that right knee in tight to the chest as we step it back down to meet the left. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the left foot up, over and down. Option to lift the arms. Exhale, place the hands. Step the left foot over. Join the right. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet forward. Inhale up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Okay. So moving back into our down dog, we're going to do that action of bringing the knee forward and up. So you're in our down dog. And we're going to hug the right knee in towards the chest. So you're rounding through the upper back to kind of hug that knee in, and then we'll set it down. Move back into your down dog. Okay, inhale here. Exhale, hug the left knee in towards your chest. Bring it way, way, way up. Inhale, set the foot back down. We'll do one more on each side. So inhale here in your down dog. Exhale, hug the right knee in and up towards your chest. And lower it back down. Inhale. Exhale, hug the left knee in. Hug it right in. And lower it down. We're going to inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet forward. Interlace the fingers behind the back and push the knuckles away. If you can't, reach the hands, bring them as close as you can. We're bringing the arms back, opening through the chest again. You can even place the hands on the hips, kind of right here on the lower back. We're opening through the chest so the elbows come back. The option to place the fingers pointing up, a little bit harder, especially since we haven't done the hand exercises yet. So whatever's comfortable, we're opening through the chest. And we'll do our standing mountain pose. So I'm going to face you. So feet are flat on the floor. And I'm imagining that I'm pulling the mat apart to the left and to the right. So that engages the legs. I'm going to imagine also that I have a big belt buckle on. I'm going to lift that belt buckle so that brings my tailbone and draws it down. So instead of being kind of shooting out the back, I want to tilt it down so the belly comes up. I'm going to open the chest, bring the shoulder blades back and down. I'm going to take my fist and place it on my collarbones and set my chin on it. So that will take my crown being the highest part. And I'm going to take a breath or two here. So pulling the mat apart, engaging the core, bringing the belt buckle up. It's a lot of work. So keeping that sensation in the legs, I'm going to press down with my right foot, using the chair for balance. I'm going to take the left knee and point it out to the left. So depending on how tight your hips are this morning, your knee might not point out super far, just kind of a little bit, maybe 45-degree angle. You can get it 90, great. If not, wherever you end up is great. Bring the foot in, you can start to bring it up. We're moving into our tree pose, but we're keeping that mountain pose feeling in that standing leg, the right leg. Granted, you can't feel like you're pulling them out apart, but you're feeling like you're pressing down into the floor, getting that right leg very strong. So you can use the chair, or you can release the chair. If you want to do the lotus mudra with the hands, and the thumb and the pinkies touch, and the other fingers are open. So it almost looks like you could catch something with your hands. It's a mudra of abundance. So I think about catching, all the things. Catch some balance here in a second. Things that I need more of in my life. You can even think of what you already have in abundance. Think about sharing that. What could you share? And we'll lower down that left leg if you have it lifted, march in place, and we're going to switch sides. So again, the mountain pose to start. Kind of pulling that mat apart. Legs are engaged. Belt buckle is lifted. Arms are open and kind of back. So we'll start to shift our weight to the left leg. The right knee can come out to the right. And it might not look the same as it did on the left. That's okay. You can bring it in, you can bring it up. We're just not pressing into that knee joint on the left knee. You can take the lotus mudra. I feel recently that in spite of everything else going on, that there is a lot of abundance in my life. And maybe it's the slowing down of things really has me appreciating what I do have more. I have all of you guys, and I cannot even express or begin to express how grateful I am for you. It's when in a time when you can take anybody's yoga classes online, the fact that you show up is great. And I still feel that connection. And because I know you all in person already, I feel like you're right here in the room with me. And I mean, that to be able to do that is amazing. We're going to lower the right leg down, march it out, and shake your hands. Do whatever you need. And we're going to cross at the ankle. If that is comfortable for you, if you opt out of crossing at the ankle, just have the feet really close together. And crossing at the ankle. You can put your hands on your hips or one hand on the chair, the other on the hip, and start to fold forward. And I'm not going all the way down, maybe almost kind of like I did for my down dog. So not quite a right angle, but kind of going in that direction. And then come back up. Uncross, recross, so the other leg is crossing in front. And then again, hinging forward. And then we'll come back up. Moving in front of the chair. We'll do our gratitude. Now the feet can be touching, or JoJo's upside down, or hip distance apart or hip width. And that's usually about 2 fists. So it's kind of, this is where your hips are, not here. Oh, there she is. JoJo's right back upright again. Okay, you're gonna take whatever variation you want. Your feet can be wide and knees wide. And with all the horseback riding I've been doing, I like to kind of do the goddess pose and kind of stretch that inner thigh area. So you pick whichever one works for you. You can take the lotus mudra back again. Yeah, you can close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And I want you to think of something that you're grateful for. Again, like, what do you have in abundance maybe? And no matter where you are, see if you can go maybe just a little bit deeper. Ooh, I go too deep and I sit right in the chair. And then we'll sit. So wherever you are, come back to your chair. Bring the legs in. Okay. We'll extend the right leg and we'll take some ankle rolls just briefly. Switch direction. And then we'll point and flex the foot. I was really hoping I'd get a chicken in here. One did come in and she came like almost to my foot, but she didn't make it on camera. Bottom of the foot towards the midline and away. And the guineas are just outside the door, and I don't know, maybe I think they're happier being able to like see me. Maybe they're quiet. They're certainly quieter than they normally are, but there's all kinds of creepy crawlies coming up in the lawn, so they're busy chowing. So we're going to raise the right leg and then lower and then raise and then lower, and last time we're going to raise, we're going to smile, and then we're going to lower. So we'll bring the leg back if you can alongside the chair. So we're opening up that hip flexor kind of gently. You can stay upright. You can even start to hinge backwards a little bit, leaning backward. And then we'll bring the knee forward again, give it a squeeze, and rock the baby. Rock the leg. You can hold onto the foot or rock it this way. Option to place the ankle over the knee or place the ankle to ankle. Knees in the air, that's fine. You can start to hinge forward slightly. If your knee is really high, maybe just sitting in this position without hinging forward. And just allow this leg to relax. And then we'll cross at the knee or ankle, and we're going to twist to the right. And then twist to the left. Oh, there goes the guineas. And then untwist. Okay, left foot now. You can Ankle roll briefly to one direction and then switch. Point and flex. And then the bottom of the foot towards the midline and then away. You're going to switch back and forth here. And then sitting up tall, we'll raise and lower, raise and lower, and then we'll raise and we'll hold and we'll smile for a moment, and then we'll lower it down. We'll bring the left leg back here, opening up through the left hip flexors. So the hip flexors do a bunch of things. They help us lift our leg. It, well, primarily lifts the leg, but so we have to strengthen it, but we also have to stretch that area because that's also an area where we get really tight. Bring the knee forward, you can rock it. Hold the foot and the knee and rock here. If you're able, you can place the ankle over the knee or ankle to ankle, or if you have a block or a trash can or, you know, the little bathroom ones or an ottoman, you know, place your foot on that. So even having something like this, especially if you're tight or you have some knee pain, and then just focus on getting that left knee out and open. So whatever variation you choose. Now, for me, this side, I'm much more open than my right side. You know, if I want more compression in this hip, I can hinge forward. I'm going to stay upright today. Staying upright for me is harder. It uses more core, and right now that's what I'm interested in, working more core. A lot of times what we need the most is what we find the hardest, or least enjoyable. So I need meditation. So that's very hard for me. And anything to do with my hips, I find to be very hard. Like Malasana, the yogi squat, I find that one very difficult. And those are probably some of the poses that I need the most. I feel it that it's difficult, but it's not painful. It's just hard. It's not, you know, it's difference between something being painful or detrimental to your well-being and being like just difficult. So we'll cross at the knee or ankle, and we're going to twist to one side. And twist to the other. Oh, I have one of my girls in here. We have her and one that looks identical to her. So we didn't name them because we can't tell them apart. We call them velociraptors. And they're kind of like the bullies of the flock. They're quite brave, but not very friendly. They don't really love people all that much. Not quite as friendly as some of the other breeds. And we'll untwist. We're placing the palm out. So my arm is out straight and my palm is facing down. Or, well, my fingers are facing down, my palm is facing open. And then I'm going to bring the palm up, so I'm looking at my palm, and then bring it back down. And then up, and down, up, and down. Switching hands, the palm facing the phone, tablet, computer, and then bring the palm facing you. And we'll go back and forth. Can you see her? She's right there. I'm waiting for her to poop in here. And then we'll tap. So shake out the arms, take some shoulder rolls, relax your shoulders down as we start to tap. It'd be funny if she laid an egg during class. And then the heels of the hands. It was either her or her sister. The other day I went to collect eggs, and there's this brooder in my coop, and she's standing on top of it, and she's like looking at me. She turns around, she's standing up, and just goes bloop, and then I just lands right there. I've never seen that before. They're very interesting ladies. Then the bottoms of the thumbs. What are you doing? Huh? And then we'll take our palm and we're going to kind of punch into the palm. And then switching sides. I wonder what she's thinking. Probably, what in here can I eat? Somebody in Facebook yesterday, I think it was, I think it was last night, and they were talking about like what kind of random things their chickens eat. And somebody's comment was that they would eat us if they were big enough. I think that's true. Back to the hands. Oh, and she's gone. Moved on. Nothing to eat here. And then we'll switch. Interlace the fingers. So I have my door open here to the she shed, and the curtains in the front, they're like a magnetic mosquito curtain. I have them pulled back just to get more light in here. And people drive by really slow because the birds and stuff. And I'm thinking they can see me in here, kind of sitting in here alone talking to myself, or what appears to be. If I wasn't already designated crazy chicken lady, it's probably solidified now. Hold and switch. I'm okay with that. Those close to me already knew I was a crazy chicken lady. And then the thumb and forefinger. Relax the shoulders down if you've gotten kind of tight. and switch. And then we're going to place our hands on a body part or body parts that are challenging to us right now, whatever that might be. And we're going to send love to that spot or spots. Chances are, no matter how challenging those spots are, they still help us. We still use them. So we're sending love, we're sending energy to that spot or spots. Where attention goes, energy follows. It's one of the reasons why if you have your eyes closed, you can kind of focus more on your body than if your eyes are open. When your eyes are open, sometimes you focus on the guinea hen that's walking across your lawn or whatever, and you kind of lose contact with the moment. Now, other people have had traumatic things happen and closing their eyes is not comfortable. So maybe you take a soft gaze or look at the floor or kind of not focus on any particular thing with your eyes. Take just a couple more breaths here. And we'll start to very slowly remove our hands from those spots. And we'll walk our seat bones back into the chair so you can maybe be a little bit more comfortable. You can lean your back against the chair. We're going to come back to that breath that we had in the beginning of class. So maybe you do it for the count of 3, 4, 5. Some people can do it to 10 or even more, I would assume. But we don't want to add stress. So do it whatever's comfortable to you. So we'll start. So inhale. After your inhale, maybe you pause a moment and then exhale. So pick your number. Or maybe just count the breath and then figure out what number you want to use based on what kind of breath you are naturally presenting. And then see if you can slow it down a little bit. And then finish whatever round you're on. And I want you to notice how you feel after that bit of pranayama. Do you feel the same as the earlier in the practice? Now, pranayama in the 8 limbs of yoga, it's higher up than the physical. It's higher up in difficulty. So it's not expected to be doing well or to be proficient in the pranayama. The asana, the physical poses come first. So with the physical poses, sets you up for pranayama. And then all of those things set you up for meditation. So check in, notice how you feel. And then we'll place our hands on our heart. And we'll thank ourselves for being here and practicing together this morning. Taking the time out of our day, or even practicing later in the day on your own. Just know that I am grateful for you. May we all feel grateful, connected, and loved. And may we have the strength, courage, and balance to overcome all the obstacles before us. From my heart to your heart, peace.
Thank you.